Today we're going to talk about syllables, syllable types, and syllable division. First, we're going to look at open syllables. The words we've laid out on the table here have one syllable, which means you can clap one time when you say it. No, no, no. It's got one vowel represented in red. The consonant has been drawn in black. So you can tell what the vowels are because they're red and the consonants are in black. So once again, these are one syllable. No, so, me, be, I, a, hi, lie, hi, by. All one syllable. Now the reason we know that all of these vowels make their long sound instead of their short sound is because all of these words are open. They are open because there is no consonant on the right side of the vowel. That means they're open. Now, these two vowels are on their own. They don't have a consonant on the left or the right. But we're not really concerned about what's on the left side of the vowel when we're deciding if it's open or closed. We're only concerned about what's on the right side of the vowel. If there's no consonant on the right side of the vowel, it's open and the vowel makes its long sound. Let's start with no. O. The O makes its long sound O because it's open. If we close it in with a consonant like T, then it becomes not because the O is now closed in and makes it short sound. If we open it, it makes the long sound O. If we close it, it makes its short sound ah. Open, O. Closed, ah. Open, closed. Open, closed. O, ah. O, ah. Ot, ot, not. O, no. O, no. This is an open vowel. This is a closed vowel. This is an open syllable, a closed syllable. Next, let's look at the word so. Right now, it's an open syllable word. The O has been left open. There is no consonant to the right side of it. So the O makes its long sound O. S, O, S, O, so. But if we close it in with this digraph CK, the O changes to ah with its short sound. So it becomes s, ah, k, s, ah, k, sock. It was so, and now it's sock. So, sock. Open, close. Open, close. O, so. ock, sock. The vowel is now open. The vowel is now closed. The syllable is now open. The syllable is now closed. But it's still only one syllable. Even though we added the CK, it's still just sock. It was one syllable before, so it's still one syllable now. Sock. Not also is still one syllable. Not. It was one syllable when it was no. No. And it's still one syllable as not. Not. Next we're going to look at me. It's open because there is no consonant. So the E makes its long sound E. 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 Me. If I put an N on the end of it, I have closed it. I've closed in the vowel, and is also considered to be a closed syllable. The E will now make its short sound eh. En, en, men, 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 men. If I open it up, it is now me, e, e, me. I close it back, it makes the S sound. Open it up, it makes the E sound. E, e, e. Men, me, men, me. E, e, men, me. Closed, open, closed, open. All right, now let's look at B. It is open because there is no consonant to the right side of the E. So it's B, E, B, E. E makes its long sound. But if we close it in with a consonant, the E changes to eh and becomes B. Egg, B, egg, beg. We open it back up, it's B. We close it, it's beg. Open, B. Closed, beg. Open, closed. Open, closed. E, eh. E, eh. B, egg, beg. It's still only one syllable. Beg, beg. It was one syllable before as B. It's still only one syllable now as beg. Now let's look at buy. Move these out of the way. We're going to look at buy. One syllable. Buy. It's open because there is no consonant to the right side of the vowel. So the I makes its long sound I. B, I, B, I. But if we change and put a T on the end to close it in, the I makes its short sound I. B, it, B, it. Buy, bit, buy, bit. Open, closed, open, closed. It's still only one syllable. Bit, bit. It was one syllable as buy. It's one syllable as bit. It only has one vowel. B-I, b-it, bit. Now let's look at pie. It's open because there's no consonant to the right side of the vowel. I makes its long sound I, so it's pronounced p, I, p, I, pie. But if I take a consonant and close it in, the I changes to an I sound. P, it, p, it. Pie, pit, pie, pit. Open, closed, open, closed. It's still only one syllable. Pit, pie, pit, it, pit. Now let's look at lie. It's open because there is no consonant next to it, so it's pronounced l-I, l-I. But if we close it in with a T, it becomes l-it, l-it. The I changes to its short sound, but it's still only one syllable. Lit, lit. Open, closed, open, closed. Lie, lit, lie, lit. Next, let's look at the word high. High is an open syllable because there is no consonant to the right side of the I. So I makes its long sound I. 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 It's one syllable. High. If I add in a consonant, it closes in the vowel. So now the I makes its short sound I. Ip, 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 hip. I open it back up. It says I. Close it. Ip, ip, hip. Open, closed. Open, closed. High, hip, high, hip, hip. Now let's look at the single letters. We'll look at A. Remember, it's open. It doesn't matter that there's no consonant here. We're only concerned that there's no consonant here. So whether there was a consonant here, it would still make its long A sound, or by itself it makes its long A sound, which is A. But if we close it in on the right side, it becomes at. If we close it on the left side, it would still say A. That would be tay. Not that that's a real word, but that would say tay because it's not closed in. It has to be closed in on the right side to make at. Once you close it in on the right, it makes it change its sound from A to I. From a long sound to a short sound. Long sound A, short sound I. Long sound A, short sound I. This would make it keep its long sound A, but this makes it a short sound I. At, at, at. A, at, a, at. Open, closed, open, closed. And if I change it to a different consonant, it still changes it the same way. As, as, as. A, as, open, closed. Now let's look at I. I by itself is open, so it makes its long sound I. If we close it in with an S, it makes its short sound I, as in is, is. I is, I is. Open, closed, open, closed. If I put the S on the front, it still says I. That would say sigh. But if I put it on the back, it changes to I, is. That would be sigh because there's no consonant on the right side. This would be is. Is. And if I change it to a T, it's still the short sound it, it. Open, closed, open, closed. It, I. It, I. And that's how to switch back and forth between open and closed syllables. You can practice that at home so you get really good at knowing the difference between open, closed syllables. Okay, next we're going to be looking at syllable division. So, how do you divide a single syllable word? Now, all of these are going to be single syllable, which means you can clap them once. Mud, mud, mud. So, how do we divide up a single syllable word? First, we want to isolate the vowel. So we're going to cut the vowel out of the center of the word. And now we are left with 3 letters. M-U-D. And we know that's a D because of our little hand trick that we learned in a previous video. That's D for duck. D. Now, when we separate the letters, we put the consonants to this side and the consonants to this side. We leave the U in the center. And we first move it here. So we've got ud, ud, mud. Now we know that's a real word, So we're good with that. We know how to pronounce that is mud, mud. So that's correct. I'm going to move on to the next word. Next we have sad. So how are we going to divide sad? We're going to cut the vowel out of the center. And separate the two consonants from the vowel. So we take the vowel first and move it to the right and pronounce s-ad, s-ad. The A makes its short sound because it is a closed in vowel. It's closed in by the D. So s-ad, s-ad. Close it up and say sad, sad. We know that's correct, so we're good. We're going to move on to the next word. Next we have math. Now we're going to cut the vowel out of the center. And separate it. Now see, if we were to move this vowel this way, then the A would have to make an A sound, which is A, A. Why? Because it's open. There's nothing on the right side of it. If we move it over here, it makes its I sound because it's closed in. So if we moved it over here, it would go eighth, eighth, maith. That's not a word. So we always want to move it to the right first. Ath. Remember, because it's closed in by this consonant, it makes its A sound, not its A sound. So we have ath, ath. Ath. Math. Is that a real word? Yes, math is a real word, so we know we are correct. We'll move on to the word fish. We're going to cut out the vowel. F-I-S-H. So how do we pronounce this word? If we moved it to the left, it would be an open vowel, which would make it say I. I. And then you have sh. I, sh. I, sh. Is fish a real word? No. That's why we always want to move it this way first. Because most of the time, that's going to be the right pronunciation. Most of the time, not always. But we want to move it that way first because most of the time it will be correct. Now that it's closed in, it makes its I sound. So it's f, ish, f, ish, f, ish. Fish. Is fish a real word? Yes, it is. So we know we are good with the way we pronounce that word. Okay, this is our next word. We want to cut the A, which is the vowel, out of the center. All right. So if we moved it this way, it would be open and it would make its A sound, which would be say, say, sh, say, sh. There's no word that's seish. Seish is not a real word. We know it goes this way. Ash. It's closed in now, makes its A sound. Ash. Ash. Sash. Is sash a real word? Yes. Sash is a real word. So we know we pronounced that word correctly. That's our next word. We want to cut out the vowel. And look at it. Separate it. We always want to move it this way first. S-ak. O makes the ah sound because it's closed in. Ak. S-ak. S-ak. Sock. Is sock a real word? Yes, it is. We wear socks on our feet. It's a real word, so we know we pronounced it correctly. Our next word, we're going to cut out the vowel. Okay. And separate it. We always move it this way first. And it's making its ah sound because it's closed in. The vowel makes its ah sound, not a, ah. P, ah, th, p, ah, th, p, ah, th. Path. Is path a real word? Yes, it is. So we know we've pronounced that correctly. Let's look at our next word. We're going to cut out our vowel. And look at it. Now remember, it's one syllable. This is a longer word, but it's still only one syllable. Splash. Splash. I've already told you what this word is, but remember, we always move the vowel to the right first. So we're going to move it this way first. This is a blend. Spol, 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 spol. So this blend says spol. The vowel says ah because it's closed in. So ah. And this is a digraph that makes the sound shh. So we have spool, ah, shh, spool, ah, shh, splash. Splash. Is splash a real word? Yes, of course, we know splash is a real word, so we have pronounced this word correctly. And like I said, even though it's long, it's still only one syllable. Splash. Splash. It's one syllable because it has one vowel. That's a trick to know if it's one syllable. It only has one vowel. So, we know we've got splash, right? We're going to do our next word. So we're going to cut out the vowel. And separate it. Which direction do we want to try it first? To the right. And when we move it to the right, we have closed it in, so it makes its short sound ah. If it was on this side, it'd be o, but on this side, it's ah. So makes the brr sound. So this is a blend that says brr, brr. We know the O makes the ah sound because it's closed in by the digraph TH. And this digraph TH sounds like th, th, brr, ah, th, brr, ah, th. Brr, ah, th. Broth. Broth. Is broth a real word? Yes, it is. Broth is a soup. And it's also still only one syllable. Broth. Broth. So we know we have pronounced broth correctly. We have another word. It's a big word. And we're going to cut out the vowel in the middle. Okay. Separate it. Which direction do we move it first? To the right. STR sounds like stir, stir. This is a blend that makes stir. Now because we've closed in the U with a consonant, it makes its short sound Over here it would make an oo sound, but it's not over here, it's over here. Closed in, it makes a sound. That would be oo, that's ooh, ooh, This is a digraph. CK makes the sound k. Two letters that make the same sound as a digraph. K. So we have stir, k. Stir, k. Stir, k. Stir, k. Struck, struck. Is struck a real word? Yes. Because if I hit something, I struck it. If I hit it with my hand, I struck it with my hand. Struck's a real word, so we know we have pronounced it correctly. It's our next word. We're going to cut out the vowel. And divide it into 3 sections. Alright, what direction do we try first? To the right. And now it's closed in by the consonant, so O makes its short sound ah. This is a blend. S-L is Sool, 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 sool. Ah, and the digraph TH is th, th. Sool, ah, th. Sool, ah, th. Sloth, sloth. Is sloth a real word? Yes, it is. It's an animal. It also means slow. It's a very slow-moving animal, is a sloth. So we know we pronounced that word correctly. Here's our next word. We're going to cut out the vowel. And separate it. Which way are we going to move it? Are we going to move it this way, or are we going to move it this way? Remember, if we moved it this way, it would make its I sound. Phi. We're going to move it this way to make its I sound. Because we always move it to the right first. F makes the f sound. I makes the I sound because it's closed in. LTH is oof, 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 oof. Oof. ulf, 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 filth, 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 filth. Is filth a real word? Well, if your parents ever told you to clean up your room because it's filthy, although there's no E on the end, they said it's full of filth, you need to clean up your room, or you need to go wash because you're full of filth. Filth is a real word. It means dirty. So we're going to put that to the side because we know we pronounced it correctly. Next word, we're going to cut out the vowel. And divide it. Getting our table's getting too full here. Okay. So we have divided our word. Now, which way does the vowel go? It goes to the right first. So this is a digraph. Wh is how it's pronounced. WH is pronounced wh. Wh. Now we've closed in the vowel so it makes its short sound I. I. Wh. I. He makes the sound. And if we're not sure if it's in the right direction, we can go back and use our hand tricks. P for play. You can go back and look at another video if you don't know the hand tricks between P and B and D and Q. Wh. I. Wh. I. Wh. I. Whip. Whip. Is whip a real word? Yes. Indiana Jones used his whip when he was fighting. It's a long string that makes a cracking sound when you snap it. Whip. It's also whipped cream. So whip is a real word. We know we've pronounced it correctly. It's our next word. We're going to cut out the vowel. And separate it. Which way are we going to move the vowel? We're not going to move it this way because that would leave it open. It would say flow. O. But we want to move it this way so it says ah. Not O. Ah. Because it's closed in. So this is a blend. FL. Full. 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 Ah. And this is a digraph that's pronounced K. CK is pronounced K. Full. Ah. K. Full. Ah. K. Flock. 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 Is flock a real word? Yes, it is. Because you can have a flock of birds. It's a group of birds that all flock together. So we know we pronounced flock correctly. Here's our next word. First we're going to cut out the vowel. And separate it. Okay. What direction are we going to move the vowel? To the right. So it's closed in and makes its ah sound. Not a. Ah. Not a. Ah. Okay, so we got a blend, BR, makes b-er, b-er, burr, at, burr, at, burr, at, burr, at, burr, at, burr, at, brat, brat. Is brat a real word? Yes, it is. Maybe you've never been called a brat, but if you're being really bad, you might get called a brat. So brat is a real word. Let's move on to the next one since we know we got that right. Here's a new word. First, we want to cut out the vowel. And separate it. What direction are we going to move that I? To the right. And close it in by the consonant. So now this is a blend, FL. Full. I makes it short sound because it's closed in. I. The digraph CK makes the k sound. Full, I, k. Full, I, k. Full, ick. Full, ick. Full, ick. Flick. Flick. Is flick a real word? Yes, I can flick something with my fingers. I can flick it away. So I know flick is a real word. Next word. Let's cut out the vowel and separate it. Okay. Which direction does the A need to go? Left or right? We know it goes to the right. We always want to try the right first. Now that it's closed in, it makes its ah sound. Remember, if it was over here, it would be open because there's nothing on this side. And it would say A, but we don't want that. We want to move it over to the right first. So it makes its ass sound. This blend says t, tur, a. The digraph says sh, tur, a, sh, tur, a, sh, tur, ash, tur, ash, turash, turash, trash. Is trash a real word? Yes, if your parents ever had you take out the trash to put it in the trash can, you know that's a real word, trash. So we're good with that one. Here's our next word. I'm going to cut out the A. And separate it. Which way do we move our A? We want to first move it to the right. If that doesn't work, we'll move it to the left. But first, we always want to try it to the right. BL is the blend. It makes the sound b, bull. A makes the I sound because it's closed in. And CK makes the k sound because it's a digraph. K, bull, ack, bull, ack, black, 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 black. Is black a real word? Yes, this table is black. It's a color. Black is a real word, so we know we spelt it right. We pronounced it right. Alright. Here's our next word. We're going to cut it apart. Take the A and separate it. Now that we've divided our word, we're going to move the A what direction? To the right. It's closed in, so it makes the I sound. Short A is I. Our blend over here, SL, makes I. He makes the P sound. Slap, 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 slap. Is slap a real word? Yes, but you should never slap somebody because that's not nice. Slap is a real word, so we know that we pronounce that word correctly.